I couldn't care less about your student's evaluation. All I care about is that when you graduate, you are ready to work for an asshole like me. And that's important. So really, everybody here that can take an intern, please see the mayor or anybody he designated for this. It's critical for our students, for your students, all of them. Her friend asked, oh, really? So your daddy's a doctor? And Shira, my daughter, thinks about it for a second and she goes, yeah, but not the useful kind. So, why are people so much more creative when they work in startups than when they go and work in mature companies? Then there was a pause. And on the other side, he said, I think we have a topic. I spent the next 2 years trying to understand why are people so much more creative when they work in startups than when they work in corporate America. I found the answer. And one of the best definitions I ever read for radical innovation is this one. Those who live by the sword, help me out, are shot by those who don't. That's radical innovation. Here's what happens to companies. This is what I found through my research. Very simple. You start with a culture that has innovation and autonomy, and you end up, when you are large, you end up losing that culture. Now, one other thing that happens is if you go beyond a certain level of losing that culture, there is no turning back. Now you're starting to lose market share and revenue and profits. And you can't manage your way out of it. So this is something that you don't need to only worry about when you're a large company, but also when you're a small business and you're growing. Why do you lose your culture? The first thing is you lose your autonomy. I can't give you autonomy anymore. You know, we used to be just the 4 of us working, or just the 6 of us here working in our company. But now we have all those people, and I don't remember all of their names too. So the only way we can manage this is if we start writing policies and everybody follows policies. So we have more bureaucracy. If you come to work at 9 a.m. Every morning, at 6 a.m. and you leave at 10 p.m. and you come in on weekends because you know that there's work to be done and we need to finish it, and I show up at 9 and after 5 p.m. I don't want to talk to anybody here in the company, and let alone weekends. That's not fair. That's not an equal symmetrical relationship. I'm going to ask, please do not take pictures of this one. This took a long time to develop a formula, and this formula is a formula. I'm actually serious. This formula is the formula to build trust. I have something that I call the 5I process. The first one is introspection. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. Let's measure. Let's find that where we have a problem. Let's do the 20-80 rule. Let's find where the problems are. What 20% of the problems will have 80% of the effect. The second part is intervention. Now let's work on it. And intervention, you can see, we can set goals. We can start working on changing the culture. I need to work with your HR department so that they will know what other things to check for when they hire employees. How do you put a team together? Training, coaching, all those things work in building the right culture. Then comes the right side, which is ideation, the generation of ideas, and implementation, how you implement them. Those are the 5 I's.